Okay, here's the proposition 3, and this is the last one I'll talk about. We think that expressing emotions should help us to build close communal relationships. And we did study 5. I didn't put the reference up, and I should say that this was a study done by Steve Graham at Carnegie Mellon University. And what we did is we contacted freshmen before they came to college, and we asked them if they'd participate in a study. We measured their willingness to express 4 emotions, and then we collected some demographic measure and measure of self-esteem. Here's how we measured willingness to express emotion. We just asked, how willing are you to express fears, annoyance, anger, sadness, and anxieties to other people? And they answered that. Now, it's important, I think, that implicit in this is how willing are you to do this when it's appropriate. So we asked that, and we predicted that students willing to express the 4 emotions, negative emotions, would be more able than others to form many friendships, establish intimacy in the closest of those relationships, and have partners who were responsive to them. So this is interesting. The paper is actually called The Positives of Negative Emotion, because we think that expressing negative emotion gives your partner an opportunity to be responsive. So they filled out our emotion measures, they arrived at school, and all we did was wait till the end of the first semester to collect our measures. At the end of the semester, we asked how many friendships they had. We measured that in 2 ways. We just outright asked them, how many friends do you have that you didn't have before you started college? We also, because we thought people might not be honest about that, we asked them to give us the initials of people that they ate breakfast with, lunch with, and dinner with. So they had to think in concrete terms, who do I actually spend time with? Both those measures showed the same thing. We measured intimacy in the 2 closest friendships. So how do we measure intimacy? We ask if the person seemed to understand them. I think if you express your emotions, they're going to understand you better. Does the person accept you? We're optimistic. We think that people respond to other people's negative emotions positively when they're forming friendships. And we ask, is the person caring? Because we thought, if in fact you express negative emotion, you're giving the person a chance to care. And what we found was that willingness to express negative emotion, one's negative emotions, were the significant and positive predictors of the number of friends they reported having and the intimacy in the 2 closest friendships. But then we had a fortunate thing happen. There was another researcher at the same university studying these same freshmen, and she happened to have, this was Vicki Helgeson, she happened to have measures from, we had 38 people for whom she had measures from their roommates of how much support they had given to the roommates. She was interested in social support. So we could combine those data sets and look at whether our people who said they were willing to express negative emotion got support from their roommates. And what we found was that willingness to express negative emotion was a significant predictor of roommates' independent reports of having given them help, collected by an entirely different researcher doing an entirely different study. So we think that expressing emotions does help you to build communal relationships. So let me sum up now. I strongly feel that relationship context shapes our expressions of emotion, and our expression of emotion in turn shapes our relationships and allows us to grow relationships. And it leads to a somewhat surprising prediction that expressing negative emotions is a positive thing and helps you to grow relationships.